And Elvis is going from somewhere, but I think we'll be all right. Is that audio okay?
The dialogue between you and the gentleman are well above that background sound,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Speed. Well, Jimmy, let's start simple. Why are you doing this?
Well, we're building, of course, the Legends Hall of Fame, Legends and Superstars in Nashville is open, and we're building one in Branson that's 32,000 square feet, and we have 600 other stars beside Elvis, and so we've decided to make that real big and great and add those. We'll keep some Elvis in both places, and we're keeping the Elvis Presley Museum tour. But the rest of it would go into storage and would either get stolen or would get damaged or something would happen through the years. And why store it? You know, why not give it back and give a chance to fans to own it?
How would you describe the reaction to all this since it's gone public?
It's been unbelievable. I've never seen anything get so much press. I mean, I did 40-something TV shows in the last 3 weeks. I don't know how many radio and newspaper interviews, but it's been great. The response is super.
I understand a lot of stars have shown interest in some form or another.
Right.
Tell me about these.
Well, Dick's been by, and of course Marty Stewart and Travis Tritt and some others have been by and expressed interest, and we've had a lot come by that we, of course, maybe didn't recognize, you know, when they came in, but we've had great interest from that.
Is this a United States thing, or are people from all over the world showing interest in this?
All over the world. We've got, we sold catalogs all over the world for it, and of course did TV all over the world, from Australia to New York. I mean, all the way over to London and Norway, all those countries, and it's been great. The response is super.
If we were coming in this weekend to look for a bargain, what would you kind of shoot me toward that might go for something that a reasonable person could afford?
Well, the good part is most everything, Jimmy. The place is full. There's 550 or so lots that have absolutely no reserves, that are great pieces that you can walk away with it for $50, $75, $100 to $300. But you know, there's no reserve on it. But if someone bids it up, you know, if someone's over there bidding that they want it and you want it too, then it's best maybe to choose another item and go with it, you know. So I would say if you're going to buy something small and you want one item or two, pick out about 15 or 20 and bid till you get what you want. You know.
What would you say is the hottest item here of the whole show?
Hottest item is definitely the American Express card. I mean, it's been tremendous action on it. Of course, the jumpsuits and the cars, the six-door Mercedes limousine, everyone loves it, but I don't think everyone can afford it. But everything, the jumpsuits, the belts, they like all the nice things, but the paper items, the birth records, his mother and father's marriage certificate, that's a really funny piece because on the back side of it, when Elvis was 13 years old, he wrote in his handwriting, Elvis Presley and Magdalene Morgan were married September 11th, 1948. That's 3 days before they moved to Memphis, and it was kind of, you know, just a mock marriage. But it was really funny, and it happens to be the oldest signature that has been found on Elvis Presley, so that in itself makes it a collector's item.
What's the hardest piece for you to give up when you were trying to go through all these items saying, well, I don't think I want to give this. Oh, yeah, I guess I will.
The American flag pin with the diamonds, sapphires, and rubies was so hard to give up I couldn't, so I kept it at home. But the hardest piece here to give up is probably the six-door Mercedes. I love that piece. Yeah.
Now, the item that I think Travis and Marty they might have looked at have been this guitar that's behind you.
Yeah, they have looked at the guitars, and they've looked at the guns, and they've looked at some of the paperwork items and some of the suits. Travis is such an Elvis fanatic. You know, he loves Elvis, and I love Travis. He's a good friend, and Marty. And Marty wanted something of Elvis's, but he wanted something signature, so I gave him a signature of Elvis at one point, and I gave Travis a TCB pendant, an original that belonged to Red West. And we've just been real good friends and dealing with this, so they came out and spent some time with me. We went through it alone, you know, without a crowd of people. And they had plenty of time to pick out some great pieces.
What is like the Japanese? Do they have a particular thing that they're more interested than others? Is it like international people have one thing they like more than something else?
I suppose so. The Japanese people seem to be more interested in cars and jewelry and jumpsuits and belts. Not as much into paperwork items, it seems. Where, on the other hand, the British and the Americans are more interested in the paperwork items. It's hard to say.
I know it's hard to come up with this answer, but I mean, what would Elvis think about all this stuff? Would he laugh, or would he cry, or what would he do?
I think he'd love it. And knowing him, you know, he had a great sense of humor. One thing about Elvis, he always told all of his people, and that's probably why we have all this stuff, is it's material things. If you ever need the money or ever want to sell them, sell them. It doesn't matter. So they did, and I had them, and I put them all together. I would have loved to have seen all this go back to Graceland. But we have, of course, offered it to them some years ago at any point they wanted to, but we told them we were going to have the auction, and they sanctioned it, they okayed it. We're licensed by the Presley estate and have been, you know, in business as a museum. And matter of fact, we're the only museum in the world that is. And so it hasn't been a problem there. And they may buy a few of the items, but I really doubt they'll even be here.
Silly question, but where did you get all this stuff?
From everybody. All of Elvis's friends and family and employees were friends of mine back then. And when I opened a museum across from Graceland, they just started bringing things over that Elvis had given them, things that he had that, you know, he would wear a ring, and if someone said, oh, that's beautiful, I'd love to have that, or I'd love to see it up close or put it on or whatever, he'd still give it to them. Same with the car, you know, he was so generous and so good.
If someone has a piece of Elvis Presley memorabilia at home, maybe they were lucky enough to have an autograph, or I'm not sure what else would be out there. Maybe they got a piece of jewelry, or maybe they got a car they still kept. What are those kind of things worth, and what should they do with them if they wanted to give them up?
Well, I think after the auction we'll know what they're worth. You know, if there's something here that I think's worth 1,000, may bring 10,000, but something I think's worth 10 may bring 1,000. It's really hard to say, but they can certainly contact us at the Legends Hall of Fame in Nashville, or preferably in Branson. That's our headquarters there, and we'll be happy to give them our opinion of the value, and we'll be happy to buy the items if they're for sale.
Yeah, this company that's doing this, Butterfields, I mean, I guess they found that rock memorabilia, I know some Beatle things have gone for some big bucks.
Absolutely. It's gone out of control. The collectibles market is super. Matter of fact, what has been an influence to me is the Wall Street Journal that said in an article, it was a headline, was don't invest in blue chip stocks, invest in blue suede shoes. And I kept that in mind.
Okay. All righty. Now if Mike could catch us walking around looking at some of this.
We can't let this go by without
Yeah, really. But anyway, what a fascinating guitar that is. It's beautiful.
It is unbelievable. That guitar is great. It's a one-off. The serial number with the date, you know, July 10, '89, the signature Elvis 175 guitar. And it's signed, and it's a custom one-off Gibson. Wow. And it was made as a commemorative after Elvis died. It's really beautiful. It's the most fabulous guitar I think I've ever looked at. It's such fine work on it. It's got all the titles on his songs on the jukebox here and various things up and down the neck, the TCB.
You put this down, let him shoot this without
Jailhouse
us handling
Rock.
it here.
Actually, I'd like to have a shot of you holding it.
Okay.
So it cuts with what you did.
All right, good.
The conversation was great, by the way.
Just so it'll match, it's fine. Let me know if you need to hold it up.
It's good, just the way you got it. Kind of tilt it around because you're talking a little bit. That's great. Okay.
Okay. And if you're going shopping soon, you better go with this. Never leave home without the American Express card. Okay, then we'll just cut it there. Well, let's do one more close on that and we'll. Okay. And for those convenient summer shopping tours, you'll want to go with. And you know you can't go shopping without the American Express card. Don't ever leave home without it. Okay.
Hold right there for me.
My fingers just right too. That's right.
There you go. Hold it real still for me.
Yeah, I was going to do the flip around too, so you can
Okay,
see the
real
signature
still.
if I
Let me
can do
get
it.
focused up here.
Okay.
And go. Okay, I'm getting a little shadow.
Use your other head.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, I'll do it like that.
Yeah, covering up his name just a little bit.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all right.
All right.
Nice and steady. And go. And back.
I'll try to do it one more time. Ready?
Yep. That's great.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty.
Come on, don't be afraid. I won't hurt you.
I filmed it. All this crap.
I learned from Colonel Tom Parker in 20 years. I bet you open it up and I'll bet you. So, I bet there's not one thing in that.
It's a notebook.
Blank.
This one here, the one out of the sun. Oh, look at the American flag. Sure is.
Hey, it's 12 o'clock. Then you guys want to eat. When you get back out, we'll get back.
Like a river flows surely to the sea.
That's Jerry Lewis doing Elvis, so thank you very much. The life and times of Elvis Presley are never far from the thoughts of the people here at the Las Vegas Hilton. It is here where Elvis created some of his most memorable performances.
Okay. Gotta make a cameo somehow.